Yeah, hi everyone. This is Clay from Cool Stuff, and I just wanted to do a video on how to connect one of these inexpensive mixing boards to a PC for recording. And in some previous videos, I had shown you this particular mixer, which is one of the inexpensive Chinese mixers, Mizisnr. And again, I always say this, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's kind of a weird name, but Mizisnr PW-1608. It's a 16-channel board. It's got recording to USB, which I demonstrated in the review of this board. And I told you I wasn't very thrilled with it. It recorded at a very low volume level, and there was, it was down in the noise. When you brought up that volume, you brought up the noise with it. So I heard some little crackling, popping, and things like that. To me, it was unusable as a flash drive recorder. The one thing I hadn't set up yet, so I couldn't comment on, is how it records to a PC. And this took some figuring out because their manual is very bad. It's terrible. It only gives you the names of the features. It doesn't tell you how to use any of them. And because it's a Chinese product that probably, has no US presence, there's very little online that I could find about this. I tried ChatGPT and some other AI tools, and none of them really told me how to connect it. So I'm going to tell you what I figured out. I do have it working, and it's better than the USB flash drive recording. So let me just walk you through the steps to get this set up, and then I'll tell you the things I don't like about it. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a USB-A to USB-A cable. And that's going to be a cable that has the USB, I don't want to really unplug this, but let me see, what do I got sitting around here? It's your typical rectangular USB connector on both ends. So just like the end of a flash drive would have, just like this, you want a cable that has that USB, let's try and get focused here, that USB male connector on both ends, okay? You're not going to connect it through a USB hub. You're going to connect it straight into the PC. So this cable goes right in here, and it goes into my PC, which is going to be way too dark for you guys to see down here, I think, but it goes into my PC down here. Once you connect it, you're going to see PC show up over here. So that's a good sign. If you connect through a USB hub, you're going to see PC over here, but you're going to get an error after a few seconds when Windows says, I don't know what this device is, it's malfunctioning. So go straight from this connection with the USB-A to USB-A cable, and Windows should detect it, and it should come up with the device name. So if I go over here, and I'm doing a screen recording too, so I'll show this in better detail than what is on my handheld camera, but you should see your device, and that's what this Giley BR21 device is over here. That is the mixer. And it pays to take a look at what your sound, you can go into manage sound devices on Windows, and it would pay to be familiar with what devices you have before you plug this in, so that you can tell, what the new one is. Because you may not be using this particular mixer. There are a lot of low-cost USB mixers with USB ports on them that can connect to PCs, and they might show up with a different name. So be familiar with what you have in there normally. I normally have the Realtek high definition audio. And so now after plugging this in, I have the Giley BR21 speakers, and I have the Giley BR21 microphone. Now, when I first plugged this in, I thought it wasn't working because I have my headphones on, and I had I'm pushing the record button over here and nothing is happening. And I'm using two things to tell if I had a signal. I was using Windows, where you can go in and you can, let's see if we can go into, I had it up here. What happened to it? Oh, okay, yeah, levels. So if you talk into the microphone, testing, 1, 2, 3, oops, where is it? Hang on, listen to this device general, and I had this up so weird that I can't find it now. Test your microphone. Here we go. Sorry, folks. Took me a minute to figure it out, but test your microphone is how you use this. I really don't like, this is a whole other subject. I really don't like the way Windows now has a million sub windows and it's very hard to find. They've got a mixture of control panel and the old and the new settings. And like, here's one of the old properties, right? You would go into your sound properties with it, looked like this. And then the new settings, control panel look like this, settings looks like this. Basically, they do a lot of the same things, but it's confusing as to find, oh, I knew where this used to be. Where is it now? So anyway, testing your microphone. If I pick up my microphone over here, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, you can see I have a signal. Well, initially I wasn't getting that. So I eventually said, well, let me just see if I'm getting any playback. So I brought up a YouTube video and I was hearing the audio from that through my headphones that are plugged into the mixing board, right? So I got my headphones right here coming over and I could now hear the YouTube audio. So I said, all right, that part of the device is working at least. Now let me figure out what's going on with the microphone. And it was just a combination of things. I really had to jack up the volume here. Here's my mic. If you look at my input level, I got that jacked all the way up. If you look at the fader for that channel, all the way up. Not at 0, it's at whatever, plus 6 dB, whatever the top there is. 10 dB. And over here, my main out's jacked all the way up. Now you might think, and of course, when I did this, now I'm listening to the headphones, so I'm getting my main left and right mix. It's blasting my headphones, so I had to drop. If I've just test, I'm not recording yet. I'm just doing audio tests. I had to bring this phones level. There's your headphones. I had to bring that way down. I had that about halfway up. I had to bring that way down. One other thing I thought might be affecting it was the MP3 slider. So I played with that. Doesn't affect the microphone level. It only affects the playback. So after you've recorded and you want to play that back, this is what's going to come into play. You can adjust that. So anyway, all of my levels completely jacked up. That still wasn't enough. So I had to come over here and bring up the levels to the max, 100. And then if I take my mic now, testing, it's not as loud as I probably could have it, but it's as loud as I could make it go. Testing. So I wanted to make sure I could record, so I went and I downloaded Audacity. And with Audacity, you go into your, let me make sure I'm focused here. You go into your audio setup. And this is free software, by the way. Audacity is a digital audio workstation software, multi-channel recording. And I set up my playback device to the Jiley BR21. And I set up my recording device to the same microphone, Jiley BR21. And if you go down to recording channels, it'll tell you can record in mono or stereo. That's it. With these small mixers, they are not a multi-track USB recorder. If you want to record multi-track, you're going to have to find another way to do it. But this is good enough for a jam, or, you're just trying to work something out. You don't have to have multi-track, like a demo tape or something. Now, if you do any goofing around trying to get this to work and your device isn't showing up, you need to rescan audio devices before, like let's say that you had the wrong cable. You plug in a new cable, Windows is recognizing the device, but you have to rescan for audio devices or restart Audacity. If you click on audio settings, it'll basically show you how many samples per second and some other things. So what I did after that is I want to get my levels for my left and right tracks that I'm going to be recording. So if you go to the microphone icon, and right click on that, left click on that, enable silent monitoring is how you get your record levels. And you can automatically see once I click that, testing. And Audacity recommends in a normal speaking voice, holding the mic where you would normally hold it, you should see the level go between -18 and -12, which I have now. But let me just show you, when I first started, I wasn't getting this level. I had to take this right here, and this is how you control your recording level. And bring that, I had to bring that also all the way up to 0. Now this is your playback level, so you might not need that at 100%. You might be okay with that, a little bit lower. But for me, on this little USB mixer output, everything had to be jacked up to the maximum just to get an acceptable recording level. Okay, so let me just do a recording for you. And then what I'm going to do is you're probably not going to hear this until in post-processing, I can take the file and I can put it in as part of the video I'm going to create so you can actually hear what was recorded. And let me just do that right now. I'm going to click record. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2. I'm kind of shouting. Let me stop a second. And you notice I had some previous tracks in there. I'm just going to get all of these previous tracks deleted. I should have just done a new project, but let me go back all the way. It doesn't look like there's anything else in there. Okay. So let me go ahead and hit record. Why is it? We're going to do a new. Let's do file, new, record. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to stop shouting. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing in a normal voice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to stop. All right. And I will play that back for you. I can play it back right now, but I don't think, let's try it. I am doing a screen records, but my outputs are going to my mixer. So I will play it back for you as part of the video I make. One thing you'll notice on my playback though, I might need to bring these levels up a little bit more just to get closer to what was recorded. Let me see what this looks like on playback. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna leave it right there.
I gotta stop shouting. Testing.
Just so my record and my playback levels are about the same coming out of this PC. All right. The one thing I did like about the recording is it does record the effects that I heard in my headphones coming off the mixer go to the recording. I have seen some boards online where people complain that maybe that wasn't the case, which seems crazy to me. If any place that's where you're going to want to hear those effects is when you record. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, the one thing, I still felt that if I was going to use this in a video, I might still need to bump up this audio a little bit. I just don't think it's high enough. So what you can do with Audacity is you can take a section of of your audio, and you can go into effects, volume and compression, and you can amplify. And you wouldn't need to bring it up much, but you might need to bring it up a little bit. You can preview that, and when you're happy, you can apply it. And it will tell you the new peak amplitude, about 4 dB. So if you're trying to get to 0, you can tweak this a little bit and see what it takes if you want to get like 0 dB exactly, or whatever you're trying to achieve. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to stop shouting. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing in a normal voice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to stop shouting. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing in a normal voice. 1, 2, 3, 4.